Good day guys, coming here, welcome back to Langrisser M News from the future. So alright, we have officially just celebrated the 6th anniversary. So as you can see in this starting video right now, it's the 6th our anniversary. We have lived past the usual lifespan of your average mobile game of 2 to 3 years, and we are now officially past the 6th and we are marching towards, well, hopefully everything finger crossed, to the 7 years. And yep, on this part of the video we will be going through on the anniversary heroine, the elf queen ENYA, or elf Empress ENYA. And not to mention, definitely she has given us lots and lots of fan service. The downside is, well, sadly we do not have that for the previously one of the most famous characters, Awakener, aka and the Kelmo. I gotta say, I really hope they will release a bit of service for the characters too, but well, we're now on to the arc of Echo of Toy War, and watch to the end for the translations I've done for you guys. So the usual stuff, 3 parts of the video. First section will be going through on the voice characters, the voice actors for the characters, quick little sharing of backstory, and on part 2 we will be on the official informations about the characters' skills, talent, 3C, and followed by part 3 if there is any regarding the pros and cons of the characters, and we will end it with item builds, sharings of the characters. And are you guys ready? Here we go. So very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app. Monghwa Monizan Soyu. So yeah, for all of you who have actually watched the 6 years anniversary video that I've posted or shared, you guys already know who or whom she is. So welcome the Empress. So this is Empress ENYA, the queen of the elf tribe, and despite calling that she's single. And as for some reason I get a vibe that she seems to be both she and her sister seems to be kind of into Roland's dad, aka the Guilty King, but that's just a speculations. So ENYA, voiced by Jing Sang, aka in the English version known as Mrs. Yep. As of now, congratulations, she's already married with child. Her name is Mrs. Kikuko Inoue. So some of you might find her familiar, some of you might not know her just by the name, but I'll show you after I tell you guys which role she voiced in some animes. You guys will be like, oh my god, that's her. And the reason I got to just tell you by the name because this is an anniversary sharing, so it's mixtures of content. So this time around, characters she voices not being displayed, and not to mention, because of the fan service provided by the ENYA showcase video, it has been deleted. In the CN site, someone kind of reported it. I guess for some reason we're not able to view. Initially it's gonna be some live sharing or showcase featuring more info about the characters, but well, don't worry guys, I edit the clip out so you guys can watch it. And back to the role. So first off, players who are born during the early or maybe late 80s, you might have known this series known as Ranma Half. She voiced as the female leading characters of the show as Kasumi Tendo. In game, she voiced as a boss character, a very sexy boss character known as Ino or Aino from the popular fighting game Guilty Gear Directs, or just Guilty Gear. Then in the 90s, she also voiced as this lovable female leading characters known as Belle Dandy from the anime and comic series Are My Goddess. And last but not least, one of the more, if not one of the most famous series of the recent 10-20 years, it will be none other than Full Metal Alchemist series. She voiced as one of the 7 sins homunculus, Lust. So yep, if you guys hear the voice and you think, oh my god, I know her, yep, that's her. She is Mrs. Kikuko Inoue. So most of the voice characters she did are very like kind, full of kindness, motherly love. Or well, at times she can do some slutty voice like Last from Fullmetal Alchemist. And yep, presenting to you Empress Enya from Echo of Toy War. So quick backstories about her is being the queen, the empress of the star from the continent of Ashun. She is the embodiment of light and the rule. So she is the elf queen Enya. So okay, coming to some important point here. So saying she has already ruled Ashun for as long as 3. The word they use is 纪元. It's not 世纪. It's not 3 century, but the word they use is 3 eras. It's not millennium, it's not century. So I'm not sure if there's gonna be some discrepancy in the English version. So I'm gonna just say it's 3 eras, meaning there's gonna be like some rise and falls of probably civilizations. I correct me if I'm wrong. Then her appearance is full of mercy and love, and in her heart is being covered with a heart of calmness and a firmness. Then in order to protect the civilizations of the elf tribe, she is willing to protect them over the long lonely times. So this is like some rough translations of the text here. And this is her speech when you get to summon her. It roughly states that, welcome, children who have crossed the deep ocean and eras to here. Ashun will once again respond back to your calling. Yep. Or to your sincere calling. Sorry, kind of stumbled that. Oh gosh. So yep. Welcome, children who have crossed the deep oceans and the eras to Ashun. Once again, we will return to your sincere calling or sincere summoning. And well, what can we forget is the illustrations. So yep, let me zoom it for you guys. Let's appreciate the art. So the usual stuff. You guys might have heard on the other videos that I said, yep, her appearance is just very clean, sleek, and very simple because she's just wearing a piece of cloth, if not a robe. You can well see that her slim tight her towards the waist, the butt is just being covered up by a thin with the size of A4 paper covering up just the important parts. Then up to the upper body, and that's it. Then overall I can say this art is kind of and the way the action she act and do is kind of fairly similar to some of the original art I seen in the Langrisser 2 artwork, which is very similar to the actions and pose made by Goddess Lu series. So I'm not sure what's the role in this game. Is it just really just purely a queen or empress of an elf tribe, or is she a descendant of Lu series? And not to mention the hair color is also quite similar. And yep, if you guys are wondering if she has a very overwhelming bust, the answer is yes and no. Sadly, she does not have a bust that is bigger than Seraphina and Empress Imelda. Those are still big. Don't worry, you guys will find out more during the actual demo play. And yep, before we go to part 2 of the main topic, the character skills, talent, and 3C and other skills, let us hear how she sounds like in the game. Are you guys ready? Here we go.
ようこそ深い海と時代を超えてやってきた子供たちよ。芦屋へはあなたたちの真摯な呼びかけに応えましょう。
Okay, let us listen to it again.
ようこそ深い海と時代を超えてやってきた子供たちよ。芦屋へはあなたたちの真摯な呼びかけに応えましょう。
And with that, we officially end part 1 and go into part 2. So right, we have come to the part 2 of the video. Before we carry on, I gotta warn you guys. Some of you might quit after hearing about her talent and skills effect, because I gotta warn you guys, she is disgustingly strong. She was so strong that, well, they got to ban and censor off her promotion video featuring herself. And okay, just kidding, but yep, she's definitely disgusting strong, to the point that she's currently being deemed as the hero or heroine, or the first one ever that is stronger than tier T0 in the whole Langrisser series. And if you guys want to find out more and why, follow me, and here we go. You have been warned. So right, first off, her faction is from, or are from, origin of like Yellers and the mythical realm, but none of this really matters because she is a faction buffer of her own, and that is good news for you guys. And yep, I'll just let the cat out of the box. She is a faction buffer for Yellers. And now to the talent, and just to inform you guys again, watch to the end for the translations I've done for you guys regarding all the skills, talents, and 3C effects. Okay, the talent, it can either be translated as prophecy of destiny or life Life's Trail Prophecy. And to make things easy, I'll go with the first one, Prophecy of Destiny. The effect are as follows, and this is the effect at rank 6. Number 1, increased intelligence by 25%. Number 2, at the end of the turn, predict the first skill that your target allies gonna use, and the following effect will trigger. First, this effect will last for 1 turn. Second, the predicted skill that was used and being used will have its CD reduced by 5 turns. Third, upon trigger, these skills will enter a CD of 2 turns. Fourth, this prediction skills is the only one and cannot be immune nor dispel. So you can only, it says only one, meaning you can only use this only effect 1. So it cannot be stacked or used with other effect of the same or equal similarity, I'm going to presume. Number 3, when you predict successfully, you will gain this buff effect known as precursor. Precursor effect are as follows. First, increased range by +1, can be stacked up to 3 times and cannot be dispelled. Second, when precursor reach the max stack, the predicted ally will act again when they end their turn. Okay, so how cool it is. This is so GAY strong. Oh my god. Okay, in case you guys are wondering what it really means or it sounds confusing, allow me to re-go through some of the sections. Okay, number 1 regarding intelligence increment, we'll skip. So number 2 is where the fun begins. When Enya enter, you can choose your target ally to predict on them. This effect lasts for 1 turn, but so for example, you will cast this prediction on your target hero, let's say SP Leon. So when you click on the characters, you're going to predict them. Their skill slots will appear in front of you. So for example, I bring Faction Buff, Chivalry, and the 3C attack. I'll get to choose that Leon will be casting Chivalry. And if Leon really casts or use the skill Chivalry, that skills will instantly get its CD to be reduced by 5 turns, which means that the next turn Leon can spam Chivalry again. Okay, some downside is that upon predicting right, meaning upon triggering this skills and he gets it right, this talent effect will enter CD of 2 turns. Then you can only predict the 1 target and cannot be immune or dispel. Then number 3, we talk about predicting successfully. You gain this precursor buff effect. So this precursor is has 2 type of effect. The first is being increase your range by +1 each time you predict successfully. Then the max is you can increase your range to a maximum of 3 blocks. So she's also the first heroine to gain as a mage to gain like a +5 range. The usual skills is 2 blocks, then +3, so she can have a +5 range. She has a max range of 5 without any downside, no drawbacks, no damage reduction, etc. The only downside is that it will take some time. So having a +5 range is not that feasible in Apex or PvP, but you definitely will be able to do this easily in PvE. The second stage is Precursor. When they reach the max stack at 3, so we'll use back the effect back to Enya predicting on Leon. So now I'm at max 3 stack. I'm gonna predict Leon will be using the faction buff first. So Leon have faction buff, Chivalry and the 3C. So right now Leon will be using his faction buff. I guess it right, and I'm at max stack. Leon will be able to act again. So when he act again, he can just go on to cast Chivalry and cast 3C against enemy with all skill and effect being used up at his max potential. So this is pretty strong and cool. And not to mention, she's a character that gave act again and CD skills reductions for your ally. So this is pretty strong. And not sure if I can cast on herself or not. We'll find out during the demo play. So this is why this effect's pretty strong. And that's just not all. Follow me, guys. Bear with me. So okay, now coming to the skills. She has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 exclusive new skills, and this excluding 3C. This is exclusive skills 1. This is known as Natural Grace. It's a 1C skill, the CD of now. The range is 3 blocks. The AoE type is single target healing. Single heal. It has both passive and active effect. And surprise, 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 we have a lot of attackers as anniversary heroes, and this year she's the first anniversary hero single banner pool heroine that is coming out as a support healing hero. I mean that's what she's best or better at. Okay, back to her skills. 1, Natural Grace. The passive effect is number 1. When your prediction is correct, you will gain immunity effect against unable to use active skills for 2 turns. So that's it for the passive. Active. Number 1, heal a target ally based on the caster intelligence ×5. Number 2, when you have 2 stack or more precursor buff effect from your talent, you can heal 1 more target ally. So this not too shabby effect. There is no CD to these skills. You can keep healing. However, this is an upgraded version of your normal heal because of the passive. This cover up the main weakness of every healer, that is being silent. However, this passive effect allows you to protect yourself for 2 turns to gain immunity against unable to cast active skills. Then next up is when you have 2 stacks or more precursor effect from the talent. You don't need max 2 stack. 2 is max 3 stack. 2 is enough. When you have that, instead of only able to target to heal 1 ally, you're able to heal 2. So this is pretty good and pretty strong. And that's it for exclusive skill 1. Okay, exclusive skill 2, this is a more important one. It is known as Ancient Legend. It is our first ever, I'm not sure how strong or weak you might think, but this is our first ever 1C faction buff. Yep, you saying right, it's a 1C. It's not a 3C, but it's a 1C, but the effect is definitely not that weak. Okay, we'll find out now. So CD now, the range is global, the AoE type is Yellow's faction buff. So yep, this is a faction buff for Yellow's factioners. And it is only a passive skill, there's no active. So the effect are as follow. Number 1, when your prediction from your talent is correct, give faction buff to all Yellow's factions allies on the field, increasing their offensive and defensive stats. Number 2, increase damage by 15% when you initiate attack and go into battle. Number 3, when act again happens, dispel 2 debuff from yourself and gain immunity to the debuff you receive for the turn. Number 4, faction buff effect lasts for 4 turns. So yeah, despite being a 1C faction buff, the effect is definitely as strong as the 3C effect because the stats increment are usual, 20% to your attack and defense, then the usual 30% for magic defense. We will find out more during the actual demo play. Then number 2, or perhaps on the top part of the video, and number 2 is compared to LLR. The latest or closest comparison we had will be LLR Kreese, aka the Bright Summoner, is her 2C faction buff only give damage increment to up to 12% only, and only at a 3C faction buff she had a higher more than 10 or 12%, and on number 2 is increased damage by 15%. And the only downside is it's not a generic effect. This effect is increased damage by 15% when you initiate attack and go into battle. So it's going to battle only. So this is more for single target skills faction buff. I mean, they will benefit more. It's not a generic like anything you do you gain 15%. Then number 3 is only apply to, I'm not sure if it only applies to ENYA only, because however it's being highlighted, it does say that when act again happen, you dispel 2 debuff from yourself and gain immunity to the debuff that we had for the turn. Then this means that only dispellable debuff like silent, passive block, etc. But this skill itself is a passive, so if once your passive is being silenced, I'm not sure if this thing will trigger to protect herself as a special case or not. But yep, nonetheless, this is a faction buff, our first 1C faction buff. Okay, exclusive skill 3 is known as Spell Strike or Conjuration Direct Hit. Again, it's a 1C skill, has a CD of 1, the range is 2, the AoE type is Magical Single Target, but have there's only a passive skills. The effects are as follow. Number 1, when you predict successfully from your talent, reduce all your skill CD by -1. Oh, sorry, it has both passive and active skills. So as long as your prediction is correct, you reduce all the skills ENYA had, reduce their CD by -1. So yep. Then the active skills, number 1, attack and deal 1.5 times damage to target enemy. Number 2, for each precursor buff effect you had, increase damage deal by 10%, meaning the max you had will be 30%. Okay, before we go to exclusive skill 4, a little thing things to go back, I gotta say, is the best part about a faction buff effect is there's no CD or whatsoever. It's just a passive effect. The best pro side is that as long as your prediction is correct, you give the faction buff. It does not say there's a limit to it, so I guess I'm gonna presume you're just gonna keep resetting the faction buff as long as you have your prediction is correct, and there's no limitations to how many times you can predict as long as your CD is refreshed. Okay, coming to exclusive skill 4. This skill is translated as traceability cleansing or traceable cleansing. It is a 2C skill, has a CD of 3 turns, the range of 6. The type is AoE magical straight line. It's a 3x6 straight line AoE skills. Okay, the effects are as follow. Number 1, deal 0.3 times AoE damage to enemies in a 3x6 straight line direction. Number 2, remove all enemies effect terrain in range. Number 3, heal allies that got hit by this AoE skills based on the caster intelligence times 3. Number 4, reduce the CD of skills and talent effect that will enter CD upon triggered by 1 turn. Number 5, for each precursor buff effect you had, dispel 1 buff from the enemies hit by the skills and dispel 1 debuff from ally they had received by the skills. So okay, it's a very strong and very good 2C skills. If you can here at the start, the CD of the skills is only 3 turns, however the range is 6. This is definitely a very strong support skill. This is a combination of both Licorice 3C and a mix of, oh gosh, who is this? Suddenly forgot the name. The characters. The deer characters from Langrisser reincarnations. Oh gosh, I forgot the name. The one that she can dash off to 6 blocks, create a terrain giving +1 movement mobility immunity to non-flyers, and then enemies she damage will be stunned. So of course some of the damage abilities is being removed, but she has this cool effect. I'm sure, and as she dash over, she will clear off all enemies terrain effect terrain or terrain effect. Yep, so that's pretty cool. And she will the healing from Licorice and the terrain clearing of enemies from that female heroine from reincarnations. Oh gosh, I forgot the name. We will come back to that later. So yeah, this is definitely very cool. And not to mention something new is number 4, reduce the CD of skills and talent effect. They will enter CD upon trigger. Any effect okay, we will confirm more later on, but it does say anything that has triggered upon triggered effect by 1. So her talent is upon trigger 2 turns, so this will help reduce the talent effect by 1. So this will help refresh the talent effect, so you can keep spamming the prediction as fast as you can, and in return to gain more precursor buff. And yup, that's it for all the exclusive skills. We are now finally coming to the 3C of not one but two 3C effect. Okay, the first 3C effect is a summon skills. Alright, this is the part where we're gonna say this is why she is disgustingly strong. You have not seen it all until you have seen the Empress Enya. Okay, the effect is known as all-seeing water mirror. As a CD of 1 turn, a range of 3 blocks, the AoE type is single target summoning. The effect are as follows. Number 1, summon a non-summon unit to your side as an illusion unit. So basically you can target a non-summon ally and summon an illusion unit on your team. Number 2, create a command aura 2 rings around you for 2 turns known as water mirror. Number 3, you will be able to act again after casting these skills. Number 4, when water mirror command aura effect still exists, these skills will be changed to the other 3C skills known as Destiny Order or Life Trails Order. Number 5, when you are outside the range of water mirror, when you end your turn, remove its effect. Then next is a PvP mode only effect. Okay, first, all characters can only be targeted once. Second, the illusion that you summon will inherit the original unit stats, status, talent, and skills effect. Third, illusion is considered Yellow's faction buff. Illusion is considered from the Yellow's faction. Fourth, illusion exists with water mirror effect and will take extra 50% damage increment when they positions outside of water mirror range. Fifth, when the illusion dies, increase this skill CD by +1 turn. Okay, so this is why I said this is so disgustingly strong. However, it's disgustingly strong. I'm not sure if this is only the rule of target once for summoning. Is it it's just because for the target once only for PvP, whereas in PvE you can just keep summoning the same unit. We'll find out more on the pros and cons later on and see if there is any explanations given. So this is why it's so strong. You can actually target a non-summon unit and create and so-called there's a new summon unit is known as an illusion unit, and this it's you don't just target only your allies. In case you guys are wondering, you can, if I'm not wrong based on the text, you can target enemies too. And not to mention, this skills allows you to act again after casting these skills. This means that you will be able to reset with your other skills and talent. You will be able to reset your prediction skills in just one turn. And not to mention, you increase your precursor effect in also one turn. Then it's a common aura effect. The common aura is 2 rings or 2 circles. It's not the 2 blocks. So that's pretty cool. And not to mention, the illusion is considered Yellow's faction. So as long as you can guess the prediction right and you bring the 1C faction buff, you'll trigger the faction buff and the illusion will gain it. And not to mention that the illusion will inherit all the original's unit stats, status, their talent and skills effect. Basically, you're just straight up cloning the enemy hero exactly. There is no downside as long as they move within the water mirror range. The only downside is that they will take extra 50% damage only when they are outside of mirror range effect. But who cares, because once you summon it, you'll be able to spam their talent, skills effect, and also their items effect. So this is very, very, very strong. And that's only the first part of the 3C. Now moving on to the second 3C effect, known as Destiny Order or Life Trails Order. This 3C effect has a CD of 2 turns, has a range of 3 blocks. The AoE type is support 3 blocks. It has both passive and active skills. Before we carry on, I'm gonna say another thing you guys can look at is the reason I'm gonna say she's very strong is compared to other healer support heroes or heroine. Her CD is fairly short or greatly shortened compared to other heroes, especially when you compare 3C to 3C. A lot of heroes when they use or spam their 3Cs either has a longer CD or has some drawbacks to it, but that's not really the case for Enya. And alright, the effect for Destiny Order are as follows for passive. Number 1, talent's prediction effect can now be used on enemy. Number 2, when prediction on enemy unit, you will obtain an additional precursor effect. So when you use prediction on enemy unit, you obtain an additional precursor effect, a buff effect for yourself. Number 3, when prediction is correct on the enemy unit, the effect is instead changed to increase enemy skill CD reduction by +2. Okay, so this means that if you target enemy, the enemy is gonna use Leon is gonna use Chivalry instead of 3 turns. The skills will become 5 turns reductions. So you increase or prolong the CD of the skill, so they will not be able to spam or use the skill that fast or easily. Okay, this is good stuff from the reincarnation effect. Number 4, when precursor buff effect is stacked, the stack limit is to the max, the enemy unit that you predict correctly will obtain the following effect based on either PvE or PvP. This effect, I repeat again, is when your precursor stacks are at the max limit of 3. For PvE, cause the enemy to obtain unable to take action straight away. So basically like a stun, the enemy will not be able to do any action and they gotta, they can't do anything. Then second, for PvP, the effect will instead be changed to cause the enemy to end their turn straight away. Okay, there is difference here, we will come back to it later. Okay, that's effect for number 4. Number 5, allies units who are in the range of water mirror command aura effect will receive the following. First, AoE damage they take will be reduced by 25%. Second, when they end their turn, they will be healed based on ENYA intelligence times 3. So that's all for the passive effect, and we have not covered up on the active effect yet because the passive are so long. 5 types of effect. So again, this is a very great and strong support on ENYA. That's why it's disgustingly strong, because after using the first 3C skills and it got transformed to this second 3C when you're here, your talent effect can be applied to the enemy. So she's basically a mix of the 3 heroes from the reincarnation faction, and it's a stronger and virgin up. The first is Licorice from her skills. Then she has Gustav, CD increment. Then third, she has another healer, the male healer, which later I got to find out again and come back to you guys, about doing gases on enemy to give them some like debuff or cause them to be stunned. However, that needs some time to roll. It takes very long. However, she just shortcut to everything to the last effect. So in PvE, you kind of like cause stunt to enemy because they're not able to take action straight away. Whereas in PvP, I'm not sure it's going to be treated as a debuff or not. We'll find out later. Because it causes enemies to, instead being stunned, it just causes the enemy to end their turn instead. Then next she has she has then another 4th hero, the Light Summoner, or Elma 2.0, or also from Landis Command Aura, if I'm not wrong. Her buff, Water Mirror Command Aura effect, provided AoE damage reduction of 25%, and not to mention when they end their turn, they will around the Command Aura, they will receive healing based on 3 times ENYA intelligence, and this is taken from Roseanne Seals. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is 5 heroes altogether. How strong it is! And now moving on to the support active skills. So number 1, target a non oops, sorry, give me a moment, guys. This support active skills is break into the non-illusion summon and normal allies. So number 1, target a non-illusion ally and let it gain for 2 turns the following effect. First, 20% damage reduction. Second, immunity to all debuff effect. Number 2, when this skill is targeted on your illusion unit instead, you will cause position shifting effect. You will cause the illusion to swap position with the original unit that you target. So okay, so not too shabby. It's not a healing effect, but it has two types. So when you target on your normal heroes unit, your original heroes unit, you let it gain for 2/3 damage, 20% damage reduction received from enemies. That's pretty cool. So it's generic, not just enemy, as long as you receive damage, 20% reduction. So I guess that's also from allies' talent or skills effect that will do damage to you. Then the second is immunity to all debuff effect, probably except for any debuff effect that you cannot be immune from. So that's pretty strong. That's like a free gospel with damage reduction. Then number 2 is when you target on your illusion summon unit instead, you can switch the illusion positions with the original unit. So this is very handy just on text alone. I'm gonna presume you can do this as a combo to either save your ally from your team when they are far away, the original ally is far away, and you can switch the illusion with the original allies to save them. It's kind of like a teleportations back, but just take note, this is still considered position shifting. The other one is if you want to kill your enemy, you can swap your illusion with the enemy that is far away, because I'm not sure there is a range limitation where between you can swap with an enemy or not, but just based on text alone it sounds like that. So if enemy is just far away, you can just target your own illusion and cause the illusion to swap with the enemy, perhaps. Yep, it just says target a unit. They do not say ally unit. So meaning your illusion can be swapped with your ally or enemies depending on whom you summon as at first. So there's a chance you can just switch the enemy that you want to kill to your side, and then you can let your allies to kill them, especially any target enemies who have already ended their turn. So okay, that's pretty cool for ENYA. That's not just cool, is, like I said, disgustingly strong. And with that we have come to the end of part 2, and now we go to part 3, talking about the pros and cons, and end with item builds of the heroes, and also to find out on what she can or cannot do against her allies and enemy. Here we go. And alright, we are at part 3, and before we carry on, so I have remembered some of the characters' name, and in fact she is not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5. In fact she is kind of like a mix of 6 older heroes, but at their top pinnacle point. One of the characters that are the beast kind lady I'm talking about is Polyaru. The one that can clear terrains and stun enemy, but except for the stun part, she can clear terrains and heal allies. Number 2 is Lukna. Number 3, Licorice, healing allies. Then number 4 is Ghost in the Shell's talent effect of increasing range. Then number 5 is Betty, AoE damage reduction. And number 6 is Gustav, CD reduction. And if I may also say is a little bit of 7 is Rose and Seal's healing. When allies heals around her, they will have get healed back ×3. So that's how strong she is. And as guy can see, this little a meme playthrough on how strong she is. Yep, this is a meme of Langrisser using Naruto one of the strongest skills presented in the show, Edo Tensei. But yup, instead of targeting dead heroes, we are targeting heroes who are alive. And this is some of the best partners and combos players think thus far. So this last part we will be a little bit longer too. We're presenting the first part characters that can go well and combo with Enya, and then the second part is the pros and cons. So Virelia, Mark the Knife, LLR Empress Imelda, then Tyrant Tail, and Isodet. However, the downside is that despite given how strong she is, she'll get first ban in PvP matches because of her ability. Okay, I'll be skipping some of this. We'll go straight to the point because too much content here. I might need to put it on another video or only during the live play. So okay. The best support heroes for her to clone or to summon goes to the following characters. If you have Liana in your team, Florentia and Ashen, be it PvE or PvP, they are very good. Not only can they heal, they can cause act again, and they can help stack up with a talent effect. Then, not to mention, 3 of these characters, the best highlight is not only can they heal, they can give act again to allies or buff attacks and speed up for allies, either of them. So this is a very great combo. Then in terms of skill washing, it will be Celica and Gustav because they have CD skills reduction for your ally. This is for support type. Okay, and for attack we can go to a lot of characters as seen here. So this picture, so yep, as seen here. But this is just small edge of an iceberg, and now we'll be talking about the pros and cons. So yep, now coming to pros and cons, we will discuss a little bit more on some question in mind regarding how her things work. So previously there has been some bug, and after some bug fix is regarding the turn-based count on who will act and end turn, which one is standalone. So just quick explanation. So after the summon bug has been fixed, now your turn count will be as follows. So you go first move Enya, then your illusion hero, followed by your illusion summoned unit. So if you have any, like example Sissy White. Second will be if you move your illusion hero, next you'll be forced to move Enya, followed by your illusion summoned. Then if you remove your illusion summoned unit, then after the summon unit end turn, you will move your summon illusion hero, and the last to move is Enya. So in case you guys sounds confusing, I'm going to use Sissy White as example. So Enya will use her 3C to target Sissy White to summon an illusion CC or illusion White. So illusion White will summon infantry unit. So this is how the movement will count. So Enya, if you use Enya to move first, after she enters, illusion White will move, then last but not least, followed by moving your summon infantry unit. Then second is if you move your illusion White hero first, after illusion White hero enter, the turn will move to Enya. Then the last will goes to your summon infantry unit. Then third case is if you move your illusion white summoned infantry unit, after it enters, the count will goes to, or the turn will shift to your illusion white hero unit, and last but not least by Enya. So this will fix some idea of how the turn counts will goes. Then next, some of you might have guessed that you're gonna abuse the more, if not the most recent release unit that can cast summoning and possession. That is none other than Tyrant Tail. Like, you guys would definitely want to know if he dies and he repossess, how will that counts. So in Tyrant Tail's case, and also Awakeners, so if such characters dies and then they become the summon unit. So Tyrant Tail, if he dies, he will summon a ghostly representation of himself. Then Awakeners die the next turn, she will summon a lesser version of herself, both of which are considered summon unit. So or it's a special case. So in this case, we'll be using Tyrant Tails. After the illusion Tyrant Tail dies and summon the illusion summon itself, it will has an independent turn count. Its action will not be tied to the actions of Enya. It becomes an individual unit based on the turn count, the individual turn count unit. However, if the illusion summon possess other characters, they will exist permanently as a new Tyrant Tail. Whereas for those illusion summon unit, if you still did not possess any characters before the water mirror effect is disappeared, they will disappear. They'll disappear together with the command aura effect. However, after you possess, you're treated as a new hero. You'll not be affected by the water mirror command aura effect. It will be, however, you will still be treated as a summoned unit. It's not a new individual hero, meaning if you have, by any chance, you can summon another enemy's Tyrant Tail. If they die, the enemy's Tyrant Tail cannot target your illusion summoned possessed Tyrant Tail. I know it sounds a bit long and confusing, but that's how it is. So this is a following effect you guys can see from this short clip or animations. So you can see Tyrant Tails possess Enya, and the water mirror command aura disappeared. The units still exist, they are not affected by it. So this is a pro side. Where else now we're talking about the Awakeners. So if the illusion Awakener is being defeated, and when they revive the next turn, against the turn count will be separated from Enya and will not be bind to its actions. So you guys can look at it. So if Enya end turn, your hero targeting will not switch on to the illusion Awakener, the revive, the illusion summon of awakeners. Oh gosh, the terms. Sorry about it, guys. Then, however, if the real awakener has been cloned. Okay, so now we are talking about a new case. If now we are talking about a real awakener that has first been cloned as an illusion. After she died, and the next turn she come back as a summon unit, and after she managed to kill off an enemy and actually revive, she is treated as a new hero, and Enya can target her again. So this is what they show, because you can target every hero once in the PvP mode. So for Awakener's case is a bit special. She's treated as a new hero upon resurrections successfully. Okay, then next we'll be going to talk about other pros and cons. So okay, just now we've been talking about targeting the hero's pros and cons effects on the hero. Now we'll be talking about her talent and skills and how it works regarding the pros and cons. So the pros is that some of us might be guessing if we can target on ourselves. The answer is yes. Oops, sorry, let me find the text. Oh, okay, sorry. There's a one. So the prediction can target an ally at default, and you can target at yourself. And so when you enter and target yourself, the next turn, the first skills that you use will be the one that ties to your prediction. If it's success, the effects will trigger. Then, whereas if you target against towards your ally unit that can deal damage, aside from buffing herself, she will allow the ally skills that deals damage to have a -5 CD. There's a pros. However, the cons is skill switching skills effects do not work or do not count. One example will be like Chloratel, his 3C. Oh, that's not a good example, but one effect will be like Apotheosis, his 3C is a transformation skill. Such skills will not trigger if after you use one and then you switch to other skills. This is like one example. Any skills that will like the first skills is skills A, and after you use it, it becomes skills B. Such effects will not trigger the -5 CD. And yep, when its precursor stacks reach the max limit, when you do your predictions on our allies again and it's correct, your allies can act again. We almost forgot about this part. The great thing about her is she can act again herself, and she can act again on your ally. Okay, going on the more important part regarding the skills. Okay, her 3C is transformation skills ability, and at the start it's going to treat it as water mirror. Then at the start of the game will forcefully cause your skills to enter a CD of 1 turn, so meaning you'll not be able to use your 3C skills on the first turn. Under normal situation, you can only use it on the second turn, other than if you have act against skills on ENYA. Okay, then regarding the command aura effect of the water mirror is when ENYA dies or when she moves out of the water mirror range, it will disappear straight away. Then if your illusion summon unit will also disappear, it's not treated as death, so it won't trigger talent effect of characters like Gintama Gintoki from the collaborations, and also from Andro. And on PvE, yep, I don't think you can target the enemy in PvE because it's stated that the cloning or duplications can only clone your ally unit, but there is no limit on how many times you can duplicate your ally unit. Okay, there's a pros and some cons. Cons is that you can't target enemy units in PvE match. So yep, sad news about this part. PvP, it has been confirmed that all characters can only be duplicate or cloned once, and characters that has been already been cloned once will have a mark icon that shows they have already been cloned once, so it's easy for you to tell whom you can't target again. And this is the same even for the enemy ENYA. So the below is the icon. So as you can see, the one in red highlight, it states already has been illusioned instead of the word clone, but the correct word is illusion, but the cloning or duplicate is just for generic terms for you players to understand much easier. Then the clone illusion will be treated as Yellow's faction. And more details about here is the clone unit that you receive will exactly receive their casting skills effect, the covenant skills that they receive, their equipment, and the current buff and debuff state they are in, and also the CD they had. So if you clone a unit that has already cast skills that are still in CD, the characters that you receive will have the same. It's exactly 100% exact replica. And okay, the downside is when the illusion unit dies, this skill CD will become will gain a +1 CD. Then regarding the second effect of Destiny Order regarding the predicting on enemy, increasing their CD by +2 once you guess it correct. You guys may be interested to know whether it's a debuff or not. Okay, when this passive skills effect triggered, it will cause allow us to gain precursor and the prediction effect against the enemy. This is considered not a debuff. It is not a debuff, so you don't have to worry that enemies can be immune to it, and this means they can't be immune to it since it's not a debuff unless they have other effect state otherwise. So once the prediction is correct, the enemy will straight away have a +2 CD. Then another effect is regarding the PvE and PvP, not able to take actions and end turn straight away for PvP. So again, I don't think it's a debuff. It just for PvE it's just cause enemy to not able to take actions. Then for PvP, the target will straight away end turn at their current positions where they cast skills. So okay, we'll see the below. So this is a video of how it looks like. Oh, okay, so in case you guys are confused, okay, this is a predictions on Zeridas 2.0 that she will cause the teleportation skills. Then so you see, once we cast on Zeridas 2.0 and she casts the teleportation, she straight away enter. It's not a debuff because when she casts the teleportation, she'll gain immunity effect. Then there's a 3C support active skills. When you target on the non-illusion ally, let it gain for 2 turns 20% damage reduction and immunity to all debuff effect. Then for illusion is to swap positions. Okay, so this is a very good case where we discussed when I said early on, you can switch the positions between your ally illusion and against the enemy hero if you're cloning the enemy hero instead, so they will cause position swap. And this means that if you are targeting any heroes that already entered, you can swap them over and you can let your allies who is standing around you to target that hero. So this is pretty cool, a very nice effect. And then regarding the switching of this 3C, once the water mirror command aura effect disappeared, Destiny Order effect will be switched back to the all-seeing water mirror 3C effect. Then regarding the 1C healing skills, that once your precursor is greater than 2, you can just target another ally of your choice to heal 3 blocks around you. Okay, spell conjuration we will skip. It's exactly as I said. Okay, so this time around we do not have much about the stats of our characters, but nonetheless we can ignore that because no one cares about the stats. The effects are too great. For the stats wise, we'll just showcase it during the actual demo play. And yup, we have come to the end. So last but not least, this is the recommended item equipment build for Empress Enya, and also the suggested enchantment for the characters. So PvP and PvE, she's receiving lots of stars. And what do you guys think? Do you think she is well, I guess I'm not gonna ask that. I won't take anything lesser than super good. So all right, if there is any at this point when I recorded this video, there's other information that we gave. Of course, if there is other extended info, I might post it if it's quite relevant or it's a lot of strong and positive combo about it. If not, I'll just leave it as it is. And we have not touched on a lot of things, and I know it is regarding who and whom she can do combo with. There is a lot of combo to go about. There is no limit to, there's no limitations to the combo. There's no stop to who or whom she can combo with, except with the limitation of her mind. Yep, that's what I'm gonna say. Or except with the limitations set by Zilong in future, because if Zilong decided that in future they're gonna release heroes with talents and effect that states they cannot be duplicated by her 3C effect, then that's gonna set a limitation on Enya. If not, she is definitely, like they said, stronger than tier 0. So this is Kami. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this video, and thank you guys for watching. And sorry that this video is long, and gotta tell you guys, this video, if you think this video is long, I gotta tell you there's so much that I have not shared and show with you guys. But well, that's it. See you guys on the demo play. Goodbye.